Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video today. As I did the most likely Republicans to run in 2024, if Trump does not run, I'm going to be doing the most likely Democrats to run in 2024 if Biden does not run. This is not a ranking, this is just simply a list, and the numbers don't correlate to anything whatsoever. But if I do get anything that you think or I left anybody out, please mention the name in the comments, and maybe I will remember them and I will, um, you know, correct myself. But anyway, thank you guys so much. We're one subscriber away from 140, so if anyone's not subscribed, you can become the 140th subscriber if you subscribe. Don't forget that. Anyway, let's get right into the video and start off with Kamala Harris. Obviously, no specific order. Kamala Harris, though, definitely one of the Democrats that would run in 2024. She's the incumbent vice president. She ran in 2020. Obviously, she's eyeing up to be the successor of Joe Biden, and that's very, very evident. And I do think that's how things will play out. There really isn't much to say on her. I think it's a pretty wide consensus that she would run if Biden chooses not to run for re-election in 2024. Number two, Pete Buttigieg. Pete Buttigieg, obviously, another person who ran in 2020. He continues to stay in the political arena. Obviously, wanted to become Secretary of Transportation in the Biden administration, is now Secretary of Transportation by the Senate. Buttigieg definitely has that presidential aspiration, presidential ambition, making sure that he stays in the news and gets coverage. Obviously, him now, him and his partner having a husband or a child, keeping him in the news, obviously keeping him up with the story and gaining, in some way, support from among the liberal base, and that will help him very much in the Democrat primary. And I frankly think the Democrat primary is going to be significantly, in the campaign styles and the rhetoric styles, it's going to be significantly different than it was in 2008, because the Democratic base support is really no longer, or really no longer put significantly on what you would say, I guess, black people or Hispanic people or intersectional coalition. It's really just based off of it's focused. It's not focused on that anymore. It's focused more on the social justice policy. So it's not focused on saying, so and so. I mean, racism, whatever. And I think Buttigieg actually would do better with this new people. Obviously, he would not do well with black support or Hispanic support. So it is a better system for him going forward, in my opinion. And I do think he definitely would run in 2024. Number three, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Obviously, she would then be old enough to run, I think, in 2024. She is a well-known far-left Democrat, continuing to remain in the news as Pete Buttigieg, maybe even more with her outfit at the Met Gala, gaining even more attention and criticism. And she has that base of supporters in the party, the liberal wing of the party. Now, I don't know what percent of that is, but I do think that she would run should there not be really much of a socialist person in the ring. I do think she would probably take on that torch for the Democrats if Bernie decides not to run and if there isn't anyone uh, better than, I guess, what you would say, her. So anyway, Cortez, I think, definitely would run, continues to stay in the news. She's very prominent. She's very well known. Simply just, frankly, just being a representative. So she's definitely got that recognition, and I do think she definitely would run in 2024. Number four, Amy Klobuchar. This is another person who could run, possibly not. She ran in 2020. She ran as a moderate. She ran in the moderate wing of the party. She dropped out after Biden won South Carolina. She could run. She has the presidential aspiration. She's currently the senior senator from Minnesota. And she's not really what you would say like one of those activists who are constantly in the news, constantly doing, making news for herself. But she does have that moderate appeal in the Democrat Party, and I do think that would help. And I do think she could run in 2024 if there isn't a moderate candidate. Buttigieg could fill that slot, but Klobuchar obviously could challenge him for it. And I do think she would do better with more of the working class people than Buttigieg. And frankly, even more of the black population of the party, even though it's not as focused on that anymore. Going forward to number five, Gavin Newsom. Coming out of this recall, Gavin Newsom is in a better shape than he was before he was as more vulnerable than he'd ever been. Now, still vulnerable, but has, which I guess, the Democrats are claiming, that mandate now that he won by a very significant victory in the recall election against Larry Elder. Newsom does have presidential aspirations. That was pretty clear. He didn't run in 2020. If he did, he probably had a pretty good chance at winning. If Cuomo ran in 2020, he had a pretty good chance of winning, but Newsom could run in 2024, depending on, I guess, who also joins the race. Because if Harris joins the race, he may not. In essentially loyalty to her, she came out and campaigned for him. He wouldn't run against her in the primary, but that's yet to see. Newsom definitely has that presidential ambition and aspiration and could run, get current governor of California, as we all know at the moment. Number 6, Cory Booker, another person around in 2020. Obviously not as well known as he was in 2020, but has another person with another aspiration and ambition to become president. Senator from New Jersey, former mayor of Newark. I guess you could say he's somewhat similar to Obama, but I think that that's just really because people would just say that because he's black, and people would just correlate that. But I mean, maybe it's a somewhat similar speaking style, but it really isn't. And that wouldn't really help him, I don't think. Maybe he would do slightly better in the black community. He would definitely get more black votes than Harris, and that would help him. But I just don't know really what he stands for. You don't really know if he's a moderate or a liberal, and you don't know how that'll affect him in the primaries. Definitely could run. He'd probably check out who is running in 2024 if Biden doesn't. And if he thinks he had a shot, then he would. I understand that's what most would do, but Booker has done it before, and that's honestly why he's in this list, simply because he ran in 2020. I think he could run again in 2024. But anyway, that is my whole list. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you disagree or think I should add anybody to the list, go right ahead or make your own list in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube video and like the video. Have a great day.